Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the A33 Excelsior, the tank heavy assault A33. It is a tier 5 British premium heavy tank. It's located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. Yes, he's at it again. And he loves this Excelsior, plays it a lot. Okay, game started. Now the Excelsior has a 75mm gun which is capable of doing 110 alpha, penetrating 91mm with standard ammo, and with premium ammo it goes up to 144. So if he comes across another Excelsior, unless he can actually shoot into the weak sides, he needs to use the premium ammo to get through the front of the armour. But other than that, he doesn't need the premium ammo for most other tanks. This is a tier 5 game. He's tier 5 heavy. It looks to me like he's decided he's going to go up the east side of the map, up the hill. I think that was more of a speculative shot on the Leopard. He's a long way off, that guy. That's the VK1602 Leopard. It's a 16-ton light tank that was actually designed to replace the Lux, but never got built. Now he's just the south side of the village, and there is a sort of like ridge line, or the village is actually built on the curve of the hill, so he can't get shots on that guy unless he actually gets into the centre of the village himself. But he's got a couple of targets turned up at the centre line, and well, one of them is a Churchill 3, so he might be able to get shots on that guy. He's bound to come across some enemy coming up the hill, and the good thing is he's got 13 degrees of gun depression, which means that if he does meet those enemy tanks, he's going to actually have an advantage over them, because they might have to extend themselves to get shots on him, but he needs to be near the top in order for that to work. So if he's sitting at the bottom, then it's gun elevation that comes into play. Okay, well, he's got to the bush where he can actually shoot on those enemy tanks. There's the Leopard, there's the Churchill 1, and an enemy tank has been seen just over the top of the hill. It's a Skoda 224. Tries a shot at the Leopard, who's on this side of the railway line, but he was spotted, and it was the Panzer IV Aslains H who actually spotted him, and he's fired around him, but he hit the tracks, and yep, he auto-aimed on and got the kill. I think it did help that one of his teammates must have hit the Churchill before he did. And the next target's the Skoda, and he gets a round in for 117, a high roll. Skoda's going all in, which is a bad decision, because of course now he's going to get hit by our teammates as well as us. And he's taken 2 rounds already, one more in the engine area. He's firing rounds in, he is getting pens, because even though he's firing standard AP, now he's out the game. And you see, bad decision that, because he went in, all in, against the heavy tank who actually has more hit points than he does. So he was bound to come a cropper. Now this is where he uses the gun depression to good effect to get shots on the second Skoda, who's already lost a few hit points, so he's vulnerable. And it looks like he's just over the ridge line. There's a Churchill 3. Could definitely get shots on that guy. He's using the premium rounds now. Oh, he did take a round from the Churchill. He's using the 57mm or 6-pounder. It's actually a 57mm, because the Soviets actually took the gun that was in the Churchill tank out, and they replaced it with one of their 57mm of their own design. The reason being, obviously, that the Soviets had plenty of ammo for that 57mm gun, and they didn't have plenty of 6-pounder ammunition that the British had, so that's why they selected it. Doesn't pen with that one. Tried for the turret. Now he's starting to get shots in. Yep, he's getting pens, and if he puts the wreck between him and the enemy, that might actually help him, but he gets the kill shot, so that's his 3rd kill in the game. So it's going well so far. In fact, I'm wondering now, actually, did the Panzer IV Aslains H actually get penned by one of his teammates, because the last shot he fired at the Panzer IV was an Amarak, and he got 405 hit points off that shot, so he probably only hit it with 2 shots, and it then went up. He's pushing ahead to claim the hill for himself. It looks to me like the enemy Skoda went off the edge of the hill because he's nowhere to be seen. And the last time we spotted him, and oh, we've come across another Churchill. Now, the Churchill doesn't have very good gun depression because it's got a very flat turret. And in order to depress the gun, you have to raise the breech end up into the roof of the tank. And if it's got a low roof, that it can't go up very hard. But the Excelsior's got a very good turret. And yes, he's getting shots on this guy, and he's not able to fire back yet. But he is taking shots from a Wolverine over by the railway line, so he's decided to fire a couple back to persuade that Wolverine it's not a good idea to shoot at somebody who's got a better alpha than he has. Yeah, the Wolverine is down there, just needs to spot him. I don't think the Wolverine can see him at the moment either. Looks like our team are starting to encroach on enemy territory because they're now south of the ridgeline in the centre. And that may be what the enemy's focusing on. The Skoda's still in the dip, and he has been spotted, so he's probably going to receive some enemy fire now. There's no Arty in this game, so he's not going to get any Arty shots his way. Okay, I think actually, to be honest, considering the number of hit points he's got left at the moment, it's probably wise to let his teammates have a go at these guys up ahead. To soften the peak and then come over the ridgeline and finish them off with one shell. There's the Wolverine. He's a one shot. One carefully aimed shot. No. Try it again. Try it again. And that guy goes down anyway, so he's out the game. At least he bounced his shell. Let's see if we can take these two guys out, the Skoda and the Churchill. I'd go for the Skoda first, but the Churchill's the only one showing. Oh, and the Skoda's getting hits. Okay, go. No, he didn't get it, and unfortunately that was the round that killed him, and it came from the Skoda. Oh dear. So he's out of this game, but I think they're likely to win because there's only 4 enemy vehicles left. It's a reduced numbers game, so there was only 13 tanks to start with it, and with the enemy only having 4 tanks left, that Choda and the Skoda, Churchill and the Skoda at the end of the hill. And the other two are a T-57 who's over the other side of the map, and there's an M10 RBFM somewhere, probably over the other side of the map, who's not really engaged in the battle. And there's the Skoda running away. He's going to get easily taken out. Yeah, I predicted that one because he's got very low hit points. All it took was one shot to see him off. Now the Churchill did get a shot into the Type T-34, but he took 2 rounds in return, and I think now the rest of the team are starting to home in on him. He's the last one left on their team. The M10 was killed by our M10 over the other side of the battlefield, so he was over there. And this Churchill, well, he's not quite a one-shot. Now he's a one-shot, and now he can be killed. Go for it, Type T-34. Oh, and the kill shot comes in from the VK-3001H. So this game is a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and that one was an ace tanker game for ProvoBob in the Excelsior. He did get the demolition expert because he blew up the Panzer IV Ausführung H with one of his shots. He only got 2 shots into the guy, and then he just blew up. He got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he got 8. But sadly he didn't survive the battle. His win rate from the game was 5,418, which is Super Unicum standard. Let's have a look at team score. He wasn't the highest scorer in the game. The high caliber went to the VK-3001H, who got the last shot of the game to kill the enemy Churchill. He got 2,028 hit points of damage, whilst ProvoBob managed to get 1,726. And the third highest was the Churchill one, who managed to get 1,052 hit points. And he also picked up a cool headed during that game. When it came to kills, it was shared between the VK-3001H, ProvoBob, and the T-67. They all got 3 kills each. Nobody on the enemy team managed to get that many kills. In fact, the best they could do was a T-67 and the Skoda T-24, and one of those kills was actually ProvoBob himself, so that they only got 2. When it came to base XP, it was ProvoBob with 1,189. He was the only one over 1,000. 817 went to the VK-3001H, and the next highest was the Leopard with 658. ProvoBob fired 28 rounds. He got 19 direct hits and 14 penetrations, damage of 1,726 hit points, all of it at less than 300 meters of close range. 17 hits received from the enemy, 10 of them were penetrations. Yes, he did have a very bad day when it came to pens on this one. 7 non-penetrations and 640 hit points of damage blocked by armor. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 4 of the enemy, killed 3, did 944 hit points of spotting assist in that game. On a premium count, he earned 58,649 credits, but after repair, ammunition, respawn, consumables, he actually made a loss of 17,444 credits, and the reason for that was the ammo, I'm afraid. He switched to the premium ammo as soon as the enemy was in sight, and the bad news about that was he burned up a huge amount, and I'm afraid that's cost him for that game. He doesn't need to use the premium ammo. He can actually make do with standard AP, but he likes to use the premium and spam it, and as a consequence he has to pay the cost. 1,783 XP times 2 for the first victory, 714 for this being a premium vehicle, so it can be used as a trainer for some of the better British heavies further up the line. 4,281 experience points altogether. So a decent battle from ProvoBob in the Excelsior, apart from using the premium ammo. This game actually took place in March of this year. Now we've got another battle coming up in the Excelsior very shortly. So it's a two replay video, and you're going to see somebody else play the same vehicle. The second replay is on the north spawn of Siegfried Line, and I think we're going to have to restart this because I think there's no engine noises. So I'll just briefly do that and speed this one on its way. Okay, well, we've got engine noises at the very least, and the game is underway. The name of the player this time is gritmaddness123, and he's on the NRNS clan, and he plays with frequently plays with Andromeda, who is a frequent contributor to What Arty Noobs. Now he's loaded the premium ammo straight away, just like ProvoBob did. His reload time is 3.12 seconds. The standard reload is 3.64. Okay, which way is he going to go? There's a couple of enemy tanks turned up by the gates, so I think he's going to go through the town. The thing about the Excelsior is it has fairly weak side armour, only 31.75mm on the sides, but at the front it's 114mm, and at the rear it's 108. So ideally you want to shoot at an enemy tank with your front facing towards them so that they can't pen your armour. If they can get to your sides, then most of their shells will pen, even if they're just standard AP. Okay, he's moving through the town, and he's moving quite a long way into their half of the town, and this is a calculated move because you can actually pressure the enemy by getting close to them. Now, there's a few enemy tanks just around the corner there, P43, but if he goes down that road to shoot them in the ass, he'll probably get shot himself by the enemy tanks that are out in the field, so not a good idea. Wait for them to come around the corner. They will come around the corner. They're being pressured by our guys at the moment. And one of them's coming round. It's the IKV 103. Here we go. He didn't like that, and he's now one shot, and he gets the kill. Okay, he's met a couple of other enemies, a Matilda, and oh, there's a Sav 43 tank destroyer. He can easily penetrate the Matilda. In fact, now he's spotted the P43, who's using the wreck for cover, so he's going to have to be accurate with these shots, but that guy's got very weak armour. He could penetrate that with standard ammo. That one ricocheted off because he hit the side of the vehicle. He needs to pull back a bit because of the Matilda, who's now hitting his tracks. Now he can easily pen that guy. One more shot to kill, I think, and he's pulled back because he knows he's in danger. And I think gritmaddness wedged himself up against that arch there. Nice pen on the Matilda, and he's angled nicely so that the Matilda can't get shots into him. Not easily. And he gets one into the side because the Matilda turns to one side rather too sharply and leaves his ass exposed. And so he finishes them, puts one round in. That's not the Matilda he was firing at. That's the one he was firing at. Doesn't get the kill, and now he's taken 2 rounds from that Matilda, which he didn't need to take. Gets another one in. 2 more rounds to kill him, I think. Is it? 1 more to kill? No, he didn't get it. So next one. And he gets him. But he did take a few rounds there. Okay, he can go around the corner and kill the Sav. I think he's trying to decide which way he wants to go. His tracks are up, so he's running. He didn't want to use his... Well, he couldn't use his repair kit because he'd already burned it. We've got a Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 1C out of the field, but he's behind the bunker and he's already gone, so he's out the game. Just around the corner, we did have a Sav and he's gone. There's the M10 RBFM. Now he needs to pull back, use the Rex for cover because that makes it more difficult for the M10 to get a shot into him. Oh, you might take another round. Yes, gets the kill. He was lucky that the M10 couldn't get a shot into him accurately. Ideally, you want to pull back behind the wreck to actually make it even more difficult for the M10 to shoot at you, because that way he's going to be trying and failing whilst you'll be shooting at him, getting accurate shots. Okay, the enemy T-34 shielded comes into the site, takes 1 round through his side. It looks like he's tracked. That one didn't go in, but this one will. Yes, and 1 more to kill, and he gets it. So he's now got 4 kills. There is only 1 enemy left. It's a Chaffee, and the team thinks he's already headed towards our cap, but I think Grit Madness has decided he wants to end this game prematurely by going into the cap area. I think they outnumber this guy considerably. There's 8 of them left on their team, so they could easily do it. But I think he's just going to put some pressure on the Chappie. It's not a hindrance to actually have somebody capping. In fact, usually it's quite good because it forces the enemy to come back and get a reset, because if they don't, they lose the game. Well, he's going to sit here and wait and see if the Chappie does come back. The Su-85 and the M10 RBFM are looking in the field. The Hetz has been seeing someone. And it is the Chappie. Yeah, we didn't lose the Arty actually, because he managed to move away. But we did lose the Hetzer to the Chappie. And I think now the rest of our team will probably dive in on that guy and take him out. He's going after the Arty. Yep, he's definitely after our Arty. And the Panzer Selbstfahrerfährte 4B, the Arty, got the kill. So this game is a victory, even though we did take some damage and one of our crew members was down at the time. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a second class game for gritmaddness123 in the Excelsior. He did get his 2nd mark of excellence out of that game, as well as a Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from 4 different enemy tanks, a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 7, a Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him in the game, and a Fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He actually ended up with 4 exactly. Got a Fire for effect as well for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, and he got a couple of Battle Hero medals. He got a Steel Wall for blocking the most damage in the game, and he got a High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game as well. So very nicely done. Let's have a look at team score. There you go, top of the table with 1,900, and I think that's an 85. Yep. Yes, it is 85. The next high scorer was the M24 Chaffee on the enemy team with 1,439. And after that, it was the T40 on our team with 1,092. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 4. 3 kills went to the M10 RBFM and also to the M24 Chaffee on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, he was the only one to get over 1,000 with 1,216. The next high scorer being the M10 RBFM, who only had a paltry 587. So you can see that Grit Madness was doing most of the work. 584 went to the Su-85. He fired 25 rounds in that game, got 23 direct hits and 19 penetrations. Damage of 1,985 hit points, all of it at close range. Received 20 shots from the enemy. 7 of those penetrated, 13 non-penetrations, and 640 hit points of damage blocked by armor. Most of the penetrations came from Matildas, actually. They were also the ones who were doing most of the non-penetrations, because they kept shooting into him and getting through his armor. But of course, because the Matilda doesn't do much damage with the 2-pounder, he could get away with it for quite some time, because of course he does have a lot of hit points to start with. 3 enemy vehicles spotted, 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed and 188 hit points of damage assistance. He got 52 capture points while he was sitting in the cab. On a premium count, he earned 37,923 credits from the game, but because he used so much premium ammo, yeah, it shows there, doesn't it? He ended up with a loss as well of 18,104 credits for the game. 1,216 experience points, 7,296 from personal missions payout, 730 for this being a premium vehicle. He took away 9,850 experience points altogether. But the best thing of all, he's got his second mark of excellence on the barrel, and now he and ProvoBob, who's also got 2 marks of excellence on his Excelsior, so they're now vying to try and get to the 3rd mark fast. I think actually they're going to be playing their Excelsior, and they keep sending me more Excelsior replays, but they are good, so it's worth watching these replays because they are interesting. And it is, you have to think tactically while you're playing the Excelsior, remembering that your sides are weak but your fronts and the rear are strong, and so you play the tanks accordingly and see if you can come out on top. I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.